What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DC NBA here, and today we're back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about what we have learned from the NBA bubble and what it has taught us so far. If you guys do enjoy, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know, we're coming back on this grind, and I'd really appreciate it. And let's get right into it. First things first, we got to talk about how the Clippers choked a 3-1 lead. And honestly, the Clippers just aren't as good as we thought. Obviously, Kawhi was great in the playoffs. We all knew that. He did choke. He shot 6 of 22 from the field in Game 7. But honestly, he played great most of the playoffs. I'm not giving him a pass because he still did choke in the last game. But he played great most of the playoffs. So that's good. But the rest of the supporting cast he had was just not good. Like, PG averaged 26 and 4 on like 40% from the field in the playoffs. Lou Will was very bad. He averaged 13, 4, and 3 on like 3, which isn't bad, but that's not like good. Montrezl Harrell averaged 10 and 3. He averaged 3 rebounds as a center. And I'm like, how? Anyway. Also, the other role players, such as Patrick Beverley, Marcus Morris, also didn't really step up either. They ran too much iso ball and just don't really have a system. And I think, honestly, they either need to get rid of Doc Rivers, which could happen, or they need to get a real playmaker and get a real system involved. The next topic we will be talking about is how small ball really did not work with the Rockets. And honestly, I'm not giving any of the blame to James Harden because in his series against the Lakers, he only had one bad game, but the rest of it, he played great. He averaged like 29, 7, and 5 on pretty good shooting splits. He shot almost 50% for the series, so he played pretty good. It's just kind of the rest of the team, and especially his co-star, Russell Westbrook, he kind of sucked and he didn't perform, but no one's really surprised. But he averaged 27 and 5, shot like 40% from the field. Just didn't do that great. Also, the Rockets got killed on the glass, second chance points, fast break points, and they really couldn't stop AD or LeBron besides in Game 1. They just got to the rim. It was pretty easy for them. And honestly, I think that small ball can work with the roster they have, but they just need Russ to be better. And maybe they get a coaching change and have a different culture, but who knows? And now we probably have the surprise of the bubble, the Denver Nuggets. They have came back from 2 3-1 leads, and this is the first time in NBA history this is happening. And now they're going to be facing the Los Angeles Lakers, who have been looking great. But I'm telling you, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, they've been great. And especially Jamal Murray, how he's just rised to the occasion and just has been fantastic for the Nuggets. And he's really playing to what we all thought he could be and what he can be. And it really just raises the question, how good can this duo and this Nuggets team be in a couple of years? But honestly, they're looking great right now. Normally, I would probably say that the Lakers would win in like 5 or 6, but this Nuggets team has been shown that they are not going to go down without a fight. And I think that if Jokic plays great against AD and the rest of the centers on the Lakers, and if Jamal just keeps doing what he's doing, they have a real shot at making the finals, honestly. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, I already kind of have, and that's the Bucks and how they have a huge problem. As you guys know, Giannis might be leaving in the next off season. We don't know. But the Bucks obviously are going to try to provide talent with Giannis. But honestly, the biggest problem on this team is Mike Budenholzer. He's not a good playoff coach in the regular season. He does great against teams that really aren't that good and all that. But Mike Budenholzer doesn't make any adjustments on the playoffs. He doesn't make any adjustments like at all. He keeps just doing what he's doing. And obviously, that didn't work. His team got beat in 5 games. Probably should have been 4, but yeah. And honestly, if you want to keep Giannis happy, you probably just need to find him a better coach because the talent around him is pretty solid. They're all pretty good. Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, they're all pretty solid. Like, he has decent role players around him. So if they provide him with like someone like a Chris Paul, that'll help, and a new coach. So next we have the Lakers, and what the Lakers have shown is that they are the only true title contender left. They're the only 1 or 2 seed left in the playoffs. They're the only big 3 team left out of the Clippers, Bucks, and them. And throughout the playoffs, they lost both game ones. Everyone started saying, "Oh, they're sunk. LeBron's getting old. AD isn't a real superstar." Then they just come out and win 4 games in a row pretty easily. Don't really have a problem. And honestly, the Blazers were a pretty solid team. Obviously, everyone thought they were going to win, so it wasn't a big surprise. But then they beat the Rockets in 5, and fantastic fashion. They just destroyed them, especially in the last game. No one expected that. And obviously now they're going to be facing the Nuggets, who have looked great. They're good, confident, and they're coming in with some swagger. But honestly, this team doesn't seem like they're going to be throwing another 3-1 lead to them. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the Toronto Raptors, how they do not have a real closer, and how honestly they have reached their ceiling with their core. I think that if they do not retain most of their core in free agency, Ibaka, Freddie, and Saul, they could be in some big trouble, because Siakam was trash in the playoffs, and he was just bad in the bubble overall, and he just needs to be better. He needs to get better, and he honestly needs to be the star that they are hoping and paying him to be, or else they're going to be in a tough situation. Kyle Lowry just keeps getting older, and honestly, he's been great with keeping up in shapes, keeping up with his body, not having a lot of injuries. But eventually, he's going to start to regress as the seasons continue, and he's not going to be the player that he is. So for this team to have a good future, they have a great coach that they just signed to extension. They have a star in Siakam, which hopefully he can continue to actually be a star. But unless they pair him up with another borderline all-star player, I don't see this team being anything else than a second-round exit for the foreseeable future. So the last thing we're going to be talking about is how the Celtics and the Heat have a very bright future, and honestly could be future dynasties in their own right. Because on one hand, you have Jason Tatum and the Celtics, who have Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and other pretty solid players like Kemba and Gordon Hayward. They're a little bit older, but Brown and Smart are pretty young. And honestly, if the Celtics just continue to put solid teams around Jason Tatum, they're going to be a threat for a long time for the foreseeable future. And more so, the Heat, they have more of a chance to have this dynasty, because obviously Jimmy Butler now is their leader, their best player, but he's a little older. But you have players like Bam and Tyler Hero, who have been great in the playoffs, and especially Bam, who has been an all-star this season, been great. Also, Hero in his rookie season been hitting a ton of clutch shots. He's just been fantastic. Also, there's other guys like Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson who can be great role players for the foreseeable future for this team. And honestly, we could see another Heat and Celtics Eastern Conference Finals rivalry for the next 5-10 seasons, looking how it is now. So if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All my links will be down in the description and on screen now. If you guys want to see more videos, let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comment section below. And I hope you all have a great day.